Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm here having a chat with someone just about the impact COVID's had on their world and how their faith is helping them through it. Firstly, introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you normally do during a day?
Okay, so my name is Kari Sampson. I am the Do Unto Others coordinator here at City Salvos, which is a program reaching out to people who are experiencing homelessness or in situations of poverty or difficulty. And my days look totally different every day. There's not, I think the common thread is every day's hectic and different, which I love. And involves a lot of people. The program is based on a couple of meals. That's the main part of the program, a meal on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. And so a lot of the week is spent with food deliveries and organising meals, organising volunteers. We have a huge number of volunteers that come in and help do the work. And meet the need, and so contacting them, rostering, helping them with what's going on in their world.
You love it.
I do. I love every day. It's wonderful. I'm really blessed.
Awesome. So COVID has changed quite a lot of that. So how has COVID impacted what you normally do?
It's changed it dramatically. We were actually initially tried to move with the change and started doing the meal as takeaways, and then a lot of our volunteers are older or couldn't come to help, and then with the actual shutdown of meals, we had to stop the part of the program with the meals, and so it's been difficult. It was really sad telling people that we were stopping it, temporarily. And I guess we don't know how long that's going to be at the moment. We're, starting the journey back, but at that stage we didn't know how long it was going to be. And it has totally changed my day. There's still contact with people. There's still volunteers reaching out. We're still staying in touch with people. And there's been a number of initiatives that mean there's takeaway meals available. But yeah, it has totally changed the whole day. Going from, working from home. But I like it. I feel like God has given us an opportunity by the program stopping to actually look at it and to see it through his eyes. And it has actually kind of reset our priorities, I think. And so we're going into looking at how we want to reopen it and having a fresh view of that.
Awesome. And you've got an amazing team helping you with that, volunteers and staff, and a lot of careers going into that.
It is.
So what has impacted you personally the most through all of this change?
Oh, goodness. A number of things, I think. I'm highly social, very extrovert, and so love people and spending time with people, and would fill my time with people and my distraction would be people, and so that has really changed. And I'm really blessed. In my home, my two daughters, we live together and share the home, and they are 22 and 25. And it has changed their world as well. They're both really extrovert and social, and I initially wondered how we would go because, we didn't like the idea of locking down anything. And I have really found I've appreciated them and their the stage in life that they're at and their wisdom and how they have really shown resilience around the change. And also as a parent, when their kids, they're younger and you're their parent, you're their mum, and in some ways it's up to them to decide whether they're going to see you as a friend, and I'm really blessed that we have come into a stage where there's genuine friendship, and I really admire them and see them as sisters in Christ, and I'm really blessed.
Beautiful. So as that relationship with your daughters have changed and developed, how's the relationship with God changed and developed, and how's your faith been helping you through?
Well, I think having had a faith, for a long time, he's seen me through so much. And I think every time you go through something, you learn a little bit more about God and your relationship with him, and I think we've talked about that, in our devotions and staff meeting, one of the things I love is in the Bible is, studying the names of God and how he has made himself known to us and how we can see how people have learned who he is. So my first instinct when this happened was, what's God doing here? And asking that question. That's been the question I'm asking all along. Okay, God, what are you doing here? And leaning into that as much as I can. So I think it has been interesting seeing what he is doing, and how he is refocusing us and really helping us see. For me, it has been a refining of what pastoral care is, what that looks like, and changing it from what works very easily for people doing the program to what is more targeted to people who are receiving the program and how we can care for them, and helping in that view of what he's doing. I think for me personally, I don't know how to quite put it into words, but I've really liked the distractions and the noise and how that's been turned down, how I've seen that just get quieter. And I am looking differently now at things. I think 6 months ago, if you'd asked me to write a list of what I considered essential for my faith and essential for my life, it would be a very different list than what I would write now. And I think it may seem like a subtle shift, but for me, it's been huge. I think I always had the view before, I'm spending time with God. Have I spent my time with God today? Yes, I've spent my time with God. But now there's a difference to it. It's why am I letting this distract me from my time with God? And is it something that's important to do that? And yes, there are things, if it's spending time with somebody who doesn't know him or someone who has a need, and just, sharing time with my daughters and spending time with them, there's value in that. But there's a different need in me for spending time with God than there was before. There's a different focus on it.
That's awesome. Through this time, and you've done and faced quite a lot of decisions and change and chaos, and it's beautiful that, as you said, that the essentials for your relationship with God are quite different, and it'll be beautiful to see in 10 years, how he's continuing to develop and grow you as a woman of God. And we really appreciate you having you on our staff, and just the people that you love and the way that you serve God through loving them, which is beautiful. God in them.
I have to add, I've really valued watching the team go through this, and I've seen each member of our team in a different light, because you go through difficulty, and especially when you're doing your job, and it's when your job is people and you can't see people and you can't be with them, it makes it different and it makes it difficult. And I've really valued that the team has just looked and just not been trying to reproduce what we were doing, but just saying, okay, we're in a completely different space right now. How do we redo it? And every member of the team has just lent into that. And I've really enjoyed our times when we've talked, and whether it's been Tina in admin, or, Jackie with the children, or, Susan with finance, everyone has been leaning into what God's saying and being on the same page, which has just been it's been an ease. But I've really appreciated seeing people in a different way. There was one night, and Susan is in her 70s. Am I allowed to say that on the?
Well, you have now.
and so, right at the beginning, when we heard about this disease, and really didn't know a lot about what was happening, but trying to work out the parameters of it, and we got the information pretty quickly that it was impacting people who were older and unwell or had other health issues. And so Susan was on my radar straight away. You know, she was always at the duos meal, and so I needed to look at how much she was involved. And there was no way I could keep her away. That just wasn't going to be possible at the beginning. And so on her night, we made the decision and said to her, okay, if you're going to be here, you need to be in the kitchen. You need to be doing, you know, preparing the meal. You can be doing all of that, but please don't come out where the guests are, because we don't know. At that stage, we didn't know how many people had it or what was happening. It was right at the beginning. And so she said, okay, I'll be in the kitchen. And she was doing her thing and organising it in the beautiful way she does. Stepped away into the hallway, and I went down to check on her and asked how she was doing and was she staying in the kitchen. And she just said to me, you know, she said, there's nothing that could keep me away from this, that if this is what sends me home, then it would have been worth it. This is where I would want to be. And she said it with just such a matter of fact. There was no emotion. She wasn't being dramatic. She wasn't being anything except this godly woman who has given her life. And it really impacted me because she was 100% genuine, that if she could spend her time reaching out to people who don't know Christ, then that's what she would be doing. And I would never have seen that in her and seen that was her genuine heart. And if we're going through this, so it has really, for everybody, I've seen each member of the staff differently, and I've really appreciated it.
Cool. And so my last question, what advice or scripture or wisdom do you want to share with everybody listening?
In this time, one of the things that God's really spoken to me about is Hagar, and how she was fleeing for her life. Hagar was a slave, and she had run away, and God went looking for her, and he found her. And she had this interaction with God where he reassured her and gave her a promise, and then told her what to do. And out of that encounter, she named God, and she said, he's the God who sees me. I met with the God, I saw the God who sees me. And she's the first one who it's recorded named God that way. And I love that. I love that God showed himself to a woman in a time when women were just possessions and of no value. And a slave woman at that, who had been used in a way to try and get around God's promises and was just seen as expendable. God didn't see her that way, and he saw her and he went looking for her. And I think that is the story that God shows us all through the word, that he is the God who sees us and looks for us. And I'm really aware that there are people who are going through this time, they're on their own, or they're really struggling with being isolated. And firstly, I want to encourage you that God does see you, and he does actively want to be involved in your world. And it is as easy as reaching out to him and saying, are you real? Can I talk to you? You know, and also we are here. And if you are struggling, please reach out to us. Send a message. We will respond. If you're close, we'll bring you a meal. If that's not something you want, we can, you know, call you and message you and engage with you, because we do want to be here, and we'll most definitely be praying for you.
Beautiful. So I don't need to say anything else. But thank you, Kari. Your joy and your love for others comes through, and thank you for sharing with us. And just know that there's truckloads of people praying for you in this ministry, and we're excited as a team to have you part of our team and to see what God's going to continue to do through your ministry and the Duos ministry here at City Salvo.
So beyond blessed.
Awesome. Have a lovely afternoon, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.